until...
Are we doing this?
Yes.
Welcome to the jungle. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Extracted. My name is Jared. This is Shannon Boyles, legend in my basement.
That's right.
In the Bang Bang Bunker, because this is where the dogs hide when there's fireworks called Bang Bangs. Well, one does now because the other can't hear anymore. And she's like, the world is so peaceful. I don't know what happened. And the other guy's got like no one to hide with now. He's like, dude, what's wrong with you? God. The sky's exploding. Okay, Bang Bang Bunker. My name is Jared. Shannon is here. This will be season 4.
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah, because season 3 was short, but we were so very busy.
Yes.
So very sometimes likely depressed with current events.
Yes.
And I've just got to get over my little spectrum hump and get the stuff I need in the studio to do the guests. Because we did some guests.
We did some guests.
But it was always beset with difficulties and special editing. And it's I want to move to this next plane.
Yes.
And we are close. We are very close. But you know what matters is we have us.
Thank God to get through this insanity.
Because I don't know of... okay, this is going to be... I can't believe I'm saying this. This is going to sound like I have an ego or something, which I do. It's massive. But you are coming to the table with political insight and that you want to hook up and we get to talk about it openly.
Yes.
Which is bigger than political insight. And would you hook up with Trump for the country? Would you help?
Okay, that's a very fair question.
Okay, so pause right there.
Okay.
I just want to know. Okay, because I'm still in promo mode. And then I'm here, and I'm going to be telling a story on this show that I would otherwise be telling at the Moth, because I've just been doing them. I love the Moth. I love all the people at the Moth. I love the crowd at the Moth. You were there. How sold out was that show?
So sold out.
Yeah.
And once again, I witnessed greatness with you, Iwi. And again, what tickles me is... The people that come up to you afterwards who you don't know, and they just come up and they say how much they love what you shared, and then they tell their story, and you've now made 10 new fans.
There's been times in my career, like I would be the headliner at a comedy club, but the feature was better, or and people would go to them, even though I had that. And there's been times I've won the Moth, but there were people that may have been better, and it really was the ultimate win for me to not win. I was kind of surprised. Usually I'm like, I don't think I should have won. But that one I thought.
Yeah.
But the people coming up was crazy.
That was great. Validating.
Yeah, I've got the video on the way, people, to share with that. And people laughed so long, I just left the stage.
Once again, it was you and your brilliance and just in your element. And I was laughing at the woman in front of me and her laugh at what you were saying. And it's just, it's infectious. And we need more Jared Iwi humor, because this world right now is bleak. And we need you to fortify whatever your emotional, structural setup is, so that you can continue to distract all of us from the dumpster fire.
The daily down, which is being conscious.
Being a critical thinking person, watching events in 2025 going, this looks like 1939. And then not even,
I would pay good money. I'd just give you to someone to be someone whose brain is so windswept and desolate that the Cracker Barrel logo upsets them.
Right.
I want to be that guy, I just...
Or you're so thin-skinned that, somebody, some comedian using you in part of their stand-up set makes you send ice after them, Yeah,
no, we are here. We have crossed the line, and I wonder, okay, so I think as far as show goes, I think your explicating your Trump answer is more valuable than my story.
Well, okay.
I think, do you want to, my question is, do you want to keep people hanging through my story about you talking about Trump and then, just trying to hook up in general? So I do my story. You talk about your Trump answer, hook up in general.
That's fair.
And then we go to, thin-skinned little business.
I love it. And hopefully, if people are waiting for this crescendo, that you're not too let down with my answer. But yes, go. Okay, this story you're sharing.
So I'm on the stage at the Moth, and here's this thing I know I've learned about stories and the comedy in general. Sometimes I'm not entirely prepared. A lot of times, but I found that when I walk up on stage, if I you just got to get your mouth moving. It's weird for me physically to get over that hump to be on stage and confident. I just mention a year or a weather detail, something that takes me there. Yeah, and I'll just walk up and I'll say it was 1987 and I was cold. And my brain is so dumb. It's like, oh God, we're there. We're hunkered down in this Salvation Army coat. It's not working.
You set the scene, and that is the mark of a true storyteller.
Well, here we go. So this was 1987. And I had found a Penthouse magazine in a ditch. And I could have pulled a sword from a stone and had less power than this magazine gave me. It was such a curiosity and so exciting. And Playboy was like the dirty magazine, but it was like pubic regions and torsos.
Right.
I remember as a kid when I actually found a Playboy and all of the community looked for me because I hid it in an outhouse looking at it and nobody knew where I was.
I remember that story.
But I remember just looking at the pubic region wondering, how does that work in delivering babies and stuff? Like, where are the parts? And then Penthouse was like, here are the parts.
Yeah.
And they involved boys too. Like there was like Nook going on. And so when I found that at Penthouse and when I was all powerful for a brief moment, both boys and girls in my class wanted to look at it.
Sure.
And they'd all had seen stuff and whatever. And of course, middle school girls are far light years ahead of boys. And I remember the girls looking, and boys, we were realizing why they were infatuated, and we got insecure. We were like, that's not normal. What that guy has is not, he's probably allergic to something, therefore the swelling.
The third leg.
Yeah, he's amazing. Yeah, I'd never seen it. I was like, oh my, what do I got to do? Hope maybe this will happen eventually. It didn't. But, so I find this Penthouse, and, soon it's within tatters. And I have kept the back page on the back because there was these things called 900 numbers.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And it's funny that I even kept the page because it was always like 1-900 dirty thing.
Yeah.
And my phone needs a case and it's very slick, so it's just weird. Even on flat surfaces, it scooches off. Anyway, so I kept that because I thought I'm going to try one of these 900 numbers at some point. And it's at 900. I don't think they exist anymore because we could just clap and porn comes shooting out of the nearest computer. But there was 800 numbers where you could call and save the world with Sally Struthers, and one different digit, it's a whole different Sally.
It's a whole different Sally.
Yeah. So I get some of my guys together, and we're cool, right? Cool 7th graders. Miami Vice was hot then. I had one buddy, he wore like a Don Johnson tie. I couldn't touch that guy. He was amazing. I'm not sure if he was part of this group. So we go into the nurse's office because I think the budget had made cuts and that office was empty with the exception of a phone. And we dial like 1-900.
From a school phone?
Yeah, from a school phone.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And, we're not geniuses here. I'll take the fall, guys. I'll take the fall. So we get in there and we dial it. And it rings. And I remember thinking there's going to be like a voice menu or something.
Sure.
But a human answers. And it's a woman. And we know women in life, right? We have mothers and aunts and their friends and sisters. But this was like a whole different species.
Not related.
Yeah, we're like, oh, we're floored. And I was like, hey. And she's like, you sound young. Are you sure you're over 18? I'm like, yeah. And we're all looking at each other like panicking. She could probably just hear 5 heartbeats and we're breathing heavy. And we're in this little room. And she's like, well, what do you want to talk about? And I look around, and one of my buddies shouts, tell us about your boobs. And I remember, we all looked at each other like, that seems that's something, right? And because none of us we were sexless, fleshy
little
appendages on the earth, and we didn't know what she might want to talk about. And she's like, I don't think you guys are 18. And I imagined in my head the cops were coming. Yeah. So we fumbled around with the phone. We had it on speakerphone. And we fumbled around with this thing because we didn't know how to hang up speakerphone. And then we just ran out.
Oh.
And then we just all walked in different directions. So about 2 months later, the theme tonight at the Moth is lies, by the way. They sell at the Swallow Hill show so often. They've added this show tonight, which is at the Holiday Theater, I guess.
Yes.
I've never been there. But here it's great. So this is where the lying would begin. Because about a month later, we're in Mr. Hoven's math class. And he was a funny guy. Everybody loved him. In loud jock. Yeah, I don't know how many jock teachers there are in the world, but many of us, Gen X generation, had a history taught to us by a football coach.
Yes.
So that could be what's happening right now. But so he's there talking to Mr. Hodgson, our basketball coach, who's like a history teacher, before class begins. And Mr. H is like, yeah, $1,200.
Oh.
And then he's like, whoa, it's like one of those 900 numbers. He's like, yeah, I was called from somewhere in the school. It's $1,200. And I break. And I just stand up and I don't even know what's happening. I just walk to the bathroom. I'm like, this is it. It's over.
They're coming for you.
My dad makes $1,200 a year. Like, they're going to have to sell me. I won't even be enough.
Oh, God.
And so, then my buddy comes in the bathroom. He's like, dude, but you missed the point. Like, I guess they talked to the place and they're going to reduce the cost or whatever because it's a school and there was an errand. And the woman we were talking to just didn't hang up.
Yeah.
She knew she could just keep making money, whatever it was. Just build the phone company. And I don't know how that financial relationship is. And I'm happy. Some woman out there thought she was about to, get new nails and maybe,
right.
A used Camry, whatever. It's so... That calms me a little bit because I'm thinking I don't know what they reduced it to, but if it comes back on me, then maybe I can, do not tell my dad, please. Like, I'll do whatever.
Yeah.
I will clean.
My parents finding out was the worst.
Yeah. Whatever you want. And so I get the school secretary pulls me aside and she's like, this is like later that day. I don't know when it is, but she's like, Jared, did you have anything to do with calling this number?
Oh, God.
And, of course, every part of me just shats itself. Yeah. My soul just bleeds dry.
You can hear your heart beating in your head.
Yeah. And I immediately, there was like some more sophisticated part of me comes out to lie on my behalf. Okay. Because she said, I saw you boys like all, like you were walking around and it was, back on the, around when this took place. And I was like, no, we were in the nurse's office one time, but that's because my friend was kind of not feeling good. So we just rushed in there because he thought he was going to get sick. And
good cover.
And I remember like out of body, like watching me tell this. I'm like, whoa, James Bond. Like you are not revealing secrets with her truth serum being all grown up.
Yeah.
And then I find out that they pinned it on this guy, Brian. And this guy, Brian, he's my brother's class, so he's like 4 or 5 years older than me. But we're a small town, so we're all in the same building. Oh. And we were that's how you become sophisticated as a 7th grader, is be around juniors and seniors who are just third basing by home ec. And I'm like, oh my God, what? And this guy's he's an athlete. He's probably the most popular guy in town.
Oof.
Like, he's the coolest guy in town. One time on a hot day, he sawed off the roof of his car and drove around as a convertible. And that's the way, even in winter, he just didn't even have a roof. But he was so cool. And I'm thinking I'm going to die. He's dating Lisa Fuller, who was like the most beautiful woman I'd ever seen in 1987, maybe still today. Lisa.
Beautiful women, like back in they were all named Lisa Fuller.
They were. They were. Lisa's dominated the planet. We, in our small town, had many beautiful Lisas. I sound like a mob boss bragging. We have many beautiful Lisas. So I'm like, this is worse because I would rather face the wrath of a bunch of old administrators than like a man in the shape of his life. Like, and
he's innocent.
Yeah. And so one day I'm walking home. Well, I don't know. I lived way out of town, but I'm walking across the same park where I found the magazine. And it's like destiny would wrap its hands around me. Because I would see Brian's car drive by.
Oh, God.
And I was like, okay, nothing. And then I would hear it stop. And then he would jump out.
Oh!
And he's like, Jared! And he starts running. And this cat is fast.
So he was chasing you.
And there's actually a cat meowing.
I know,
it's not time to eat, okay? If this
eat
were
yet.
the moth, a proper stage. Okay.
Eat it, cat.
Okay, so anyway.
Right. So he starts chasing you.
He starts chasing me. And I am out of body again, running as fast as I can.
Oh, my God.
Now, I have one maneuver, which worked one time on my brother out of like 3,248. is that I let them get close enough and then I fall and they trip over me.
Yes.
And so I'm like, I got you, bud. I'm taking you down. I'm sorry that you had to be attached to this scandal. You didn't even get to shout the word boobs like my friend did. But you're going down. And so he gets close to me, and I just drop right in front of him.
Oh.
And I'm waiting for the crash. I'm waiting for it to go down. But this guy's agile. And I look up, and he's just stopped. He's just like waiting.
Oh.
And he picks me up. Like, he could kill me. He could pull my head off. And he's like, Jared, you called like a 900 number, and the school got charged a bunch of money, and they blamed it on me, and I got suspended. I'm so sorry. I whatever. Just let me know. I can figure it out. And then he's like, thank you. I could have used a vacation.
Oh.
And then he drops me, and it goes back to his car.
That's a twist I was not expecting.
No, I know. Moth, look what you're missing. But, I mean, yeah, it was insane. I could not believe it. So I skated on this whole 900 number thing.
You did him a favor, too.
Yeah, and he got some time off.
I wonder, like, where he is today.
Well, I could tell you, he would eventually go serve in the Army. He'd go to Iraq and come back. He's an EMT ambulance driver. He lived in Walden for the longest time. He's the funniest human I know. And now, I don't know, Brian, where are you now? He moved to a more urban area.
Wow.
Incredible dude. But, yeah. And he spared my life that day.
I can't believe that the school got charged that much and that they were going to put it on him. How was he able to figure it was you?
So I think he shook down some other kids. I mean, there was like 20 in our class.
Yeah, so someone gave you up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do not know why I was back in that park again, because I lived downtown. So I don't know what, maybe sometimes my mom would come to town to do laundry, and so that would be excited because the laundry is by the mini mart.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But yeah, I was just like, this is it. I'm going to die. He could just bury me in that sandbox.
I can't believe that he dropped, and especially hearing about how your brother and you would, fight. I'm shocked that this guy dropped you.
And my brother and Brian are good friends, and they both served in the same wars. And
wow.
And so, yeah.
That's amazing.
That's crazy.
I've told some whoppers in my time and always got caught. And I told you about one of them in college where I covered for someone else we know. And ever since, I just...
Dude, I didn't know this story.
Yeah, and I can't tell
and it. No, she can't. I mean, one day we're going to get out of you some way. I did not know.
Yeah.
I did not know.
No one knows.
Yeah, I did not know. You're that good. She's such a good person.
I took the fall for this other very well-known person and almost didn't get to graduate college because of it. But back to you.
No, back to you.
Back to me.
You're my Nook correspondent.
Yes,
how's it going out there in singles land?
I mean, if I had a sound effect of crickets right now, I would play
it. Bring that cat back.
I've been
like a scorned pussy. Get over here.
It's just it's a hungry cat.
Okay. But first,
yes.
And you know how I love to discuss this.
Yes.
Because you're so open, you're so honest and intelligent, and you're very observant. You're seeing the world, and you're wondering. I see all the things where I belong. I see the things that I own, that I've earned. But where's that? Yeah. Where's that thing? So we'll get to that. But first, the Trump answer.
Yes.
Would you hook up with Trump to save America?
If I knew it was going to save America, it was going to restore DEI, it was going to put the names of people of color and women who have served this country, put their names back onto federal websites and in Arlington Cemetery, if it was going to restore the jobs of the 50,000 plus feds that were fired unfairly, and if it was going to just undo all of the effery of the last 9 months, I would go and buy a box of condoms with at least 60 and put them all on one another.
It would finally give him some girth. It'd be amazing.
Yes, he would actually have something. Yeah. And then I would also probably wear like a biohazard suit and just cut a hole in it. But yes, if I knew it was going to save not only this country and humanity, but put him away, you bet. I might even take it somewhere I wouldn't.
There's... Wow, folks.
That's how much I hate what's happening right now.
I was just going to compare you to some of the greatest sacrifices in American history, and then you took it a step further. That's amazing.
I mean, you asked, right?
No, I did ask. And I wonder, I mean, like, I think I would if I meant,
Listen, I'm no constitutional scholar. That's one thing that I regret not applying myself to more in college. But I will say, as a federal employee who has taken the oath of office, I am to protect the Constitution. And so I could see an extension of that being protecting the Constitution by what you're painting for me, knowing that yes, if it's going to, granted, no one would touch me for the rest of my life after that, but I'd be okay, because every day I'd wake up and piss excellence, knowing I wholeheartedly saved the country.
Yeah,
sleeping with the
literally
enemy.
Put yourself on the line.
Literally.
And okay, so now part 2, and that was a fantastic answer.
I don't know. I just
that
pulled it
was
out.
moving. That was moving. I was like the end of an 80s movie where like Revenge of the Nerds 3 or whatever, they stand up and they protect their integrity. Amazing.
The cat's back. Come here, kitty.
It's not time. It's not time. I mean, he's orange. Maybe that's Trump.
He's like,
Maybe
it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Trump cat. Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's some things. I'll start the conversation. Maybe it's not my place, but I think this could be helpful. But often I think things and they're wrong. I'm often thinking, like, how am I going to hook this girl up? And you're that girl. And I have a couple places. One, this podcast, I think it's got quality listeners, We got like 6, but
I think 4 are my family members.
So you take your family members out, there's 2.
Those 2.
Yeah. And then but I think once we get this bear back on its legs again, because we were kicking ass.
Yeah, we were.
We go to a podcast convention. And there's going to be some guy there.
Yes.
He's a little bit quirky. He has a podcast just on mycelium. Just on fungus.
Doesn't need to talk.
No. So he smells a little earthy. But I think. But you know what? It's a project. It's a project. And he's so taken by you that he's like, oh yeah, I'm willing to bathe. And or there's another one. There's some jockey guy.
Okay.
Bigger dude. I'm not talking like overweight. I'm talking like husky. This guy was a tight end in college. Yeah, and I don't know. I just have visions.
I like that kind. Listen, This whole last week, I was with people from my work who are very important, who are protected by U.S. Marshals, and there were plenty of good-looking, big, muscular dudes.
Oh man.
Although, as I told you in a recorded message, I really think that when they come out of U.S. Marshal training, they're given their standard issue, gun, their bulletproof vest, and a wedding band, because I can't think that every single one of them is married. I think that they wear it to throw off people like me from coming and hitting on them.
Because you're going to sleep with the president and save democracy.
Right. Even though that's a different protection group. But yes, I'm going to work my way up to the Secret Service. I have to go to the Capitol Police.
You are crafty.
Yeah.
So what? What's your vision? I mean to say, the other place, I want to go back to Walden with you.
Okay.
And we're going to go to the Stockman Bar, and we're going to throw back some, and I think there's some, I don't know.
I think there's opportunity there. I mean, that to me sounds like, a gold mine. Yeah. Good-looking, logging, rough and
ranchers.
Tough ranchers.
Yeah.
Guys that are probably living in lonesome out there in the cold winter nights.
Those guys are wearing skinny jeans, but earnestly.
Earnestly.
They've got these are working pants.
Yeah.
And they're handsome dudes, and that's why in high school I was mostly lonely calling 900 numbers, because all the cowboys were sweeping all the girls off their feet.
I used to wonder if I could do that job as like one of those live links operators.
Yeah.
Because I thought like that'd be a great way to.
Voice.
I have great pipes.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do it though because of just the weird things that people are into. I tried being a bartender once, and it was kind of the same, where it was like this group of belligerent racists that were in town for a Broncos game. They just kept wanting to be served, and I was like, yeah, I'm not down for this. Yeah. Like, I'll throw you order a drink, I'll throw it on you, but I don't want to sit here and like pretend like, I'm here to serve you when you're dropping words that should never be uttered again. So, okay, yeah.
Well, this is an important point.
Yeah.
And it's something I've been very proud of you. You have standards.
I do.
Yeah.
I've been made fun of for being too picky, because they're like, you have a lot of scars and you live with your dad, and like, how can you be so picky? But when you've been through a 20-year journey with your health, and like being healthy and not having issues and stuff is paramount, you just don't go out anywhere, drop trow and get it on with just anything you can find, because
At least not anymore.
No.
No, I don't know. That means nothing. That was just a stupid throwaway line.
I was never that kind of girl. In my mind, I wanted to be, but I will take us back to February, my friend, when we did the Pitch a Friend event, which it had a great vision. It was really going to be something.
You know, they sent me an invite to come back.
I know, and they sent me one, and I was like, no.
Oh, come on, we could do it again. And I would be better in it.
Somebody had had a few beers on No Dinner and got up and decided to kind of off the cuff turn it into like, you know, kind of an auctioneering for sexual favors.
I got excited. You know, I got on stage. There was a microphone. And I like auctioned her.
And nobody reached out to me after that.
But honestly, I don't know if that's like a big high rate. As far I don't know if there's a lot of clicks for those things. But.
Yeah, I don't know what to compare it to. Although I would be sad if I heard that one woman, the travel blogger who rode her bike to Santa Fe and back, you know, got a whole bunch of clicks. But here's my conundrum. All the good guys I know, like you, are married with kids and are doing their best family life. I'm glad that you still call me
a good guy, even
You're
though
a great guy.
I tried to sell you like a sex slave.
You did, but you know, you and I having the same birthday, being friends for 30 years, this is more like a sibling thing. So, you know, but I don't know where to go and meet eligible single, which means you're not married and you're not lying about that, people who are quality people. And by quality, I mean... They've got a job, they pay their bills on time, they take care of things, they are a good person, and they didn't vote for who's currently running the show.
Yeah, that's probably
that's going to be a deal breaker for me. And it's not because I have an issue with different parties. This one is all about like right and wrong, values, and you know, an oligarchy.
But when we completely tip into autocracy, maybe it's nice to be connected to that. Could save your life.
Yeah. Honestly, Jared, no one's coming to save us. And it's really going to be like, I don't think it's going to be zombies that come for us. I don't think it's going to be UFOs.
It's us.
I think it's going to be, this country is going to be very divided. And either you believe in equality for everyone, or you're a white supremacist. And so when it comes down to that...
What if...
Sorry, and I know that was a huge...
No, I love your words. But what if they voted for Trump, but now they're like, oh, God.
Okay.
Oh, like, for example, the Wall Street Journal, those morons came out this week and said, he's worse than we imagined. No kidding. Okay, but yeah, what about that?
So, if you voted for him the first time in 2016...
Okay.
I'll give you the pass. Mm-hmm. If you voted for him in 2016, 2020, and 2024, and now you're going, oh, I had no idea, I'm going to say, go fly a kite. Yeah. Now, if you're, like, it was clear, unless you had your head in the ground, that last year he was a convicted felon. He was impeached twice. He was found guilty of all sorts of things. And yet people still voted for him. And what boggles my mind are the Christian conservative women who don't have a problem with the fact that he cheated on his wife with a porn star and paid her off to the tune of 6 figures. He's done all these things. He's mentioned 100,000 times in the Epstein files that he just had a whole bunch of FBI agents scrub from all of the Epstein files themselves. And he's trying to kind of presto, you know, magic trick this into a Democratic hoax. And my whole point is, where do you meet solid, good, single, quality men that believe in equality for all and want to date a 51-year-old weird woman like myself?
That was the most stirring.
I know, that was like, talk about the long way around the horn.
No, that was the most stirring, most revolutionary dating profile I have ever heard. Like, that's what that was. But it's all true. I mean, yeah, we're in serious trouble, and we have a pedophile president who's in the pocket of Putin. And I think, yeah, it's a one good thing about the red hat is you're like, okay, you're still wearing that.
It's a tell.
It's a tell, and you don't have to go out of your way to impress anybody. What if they were just like, I just want to pleasure you and nothing else?
Again, it kills my boner if you have voted for this man.
Yeah.
I can't. I'd rather, sorry if my mom's watching, I'll pleasure myself.
I don't know if she
which
has
I will
do
do
or not. I don't know.
I do a better job with that myself than some, and that was a great like French accent you almost just pulled off, but yeah, no.
These are great conversations, and it just goes to show the lucidity and eloquence that you behold, because you just start rolling, and I love it. Like,
no, it goes
like,
to show
you're like the Eminem of horny single people.
I am no Slim Shady.
Yeah.
But what it does go to show is our evening phone calls when you're walking the dogs and you call me and we go off about our frustrations with the current administration and all the fuckery that's happened today, and then I continue to bend your ear about bemoaning being a 51-year-old single woman who can't get pregnant but can't seem to catch a cold to save her life. So yeah, that really encapsulates what we talk about at night.
Well, yeah, and it's great. I'm glad you were there. My wife is glad you're there for me. Everybody that knows me glad that I have someone to talk to about this. But we all need to be talking. We do.
We do, because here's, and I'm glad you're segueing to this, because I don't want to just talk about being a horny old lady. Having civil discourse. What has happened to that notion where we used to be able to talk about issues without personally attacking one another, beginning to yell, beginning to escalate? It was more, it was very much a respectful way that you would converse with people. Mm-hmm. And what Trump brought out in 2016 was, if you disagree with me, you're going to say, oh, well, you're nothing but a fat person with, scars, mm-hmm. and you just start attacking.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's I think that's a thing that over time we've made the mistake of saying, like, oh, don't talk politics.
Yeah.
And that was, I think, fed to us purposefully in many regards, because it kept us getting further and further apart. And it's interesting how far apart we are now. A guy posted a video from Florida, and he's lived there his entire life in this tourist area. And he was talking to a family, and he asked, so where are you from? And he realized that kind of made them a little uncomfortable because they weren't sure why he was asking. And he goes, this is a question I've been asking people for decades, and it's a great question that opens up conversation that teaches us about from where they are, and they want to know more about us. And we're losing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that is something, it's, they keep saying it. We need to build community. We need to get together and build community, because otherwise we're just divided and easily played. I
agree with you. However, I'm seeing this building of community going in a very dark way, where I'm seeing these communities of white supremacists that are popping up around the country, and they're in red states. Excuse me. And it's just like, that's not the direction we need to go in. The way I was raised, and thank God I was born to the people I was born to, my parents would introduce me to other people as like, this is your Uncle Jimmy, and maybe they weren't a blood relative, and Uncle Jimmy happened to be an Asian American, but he was just as much of an equal as my dad's real brother, my Uncle Jeff. And so it's family.
Like, he was family, right, yeah.
I was surrounded by people who didn't look like me, but they were worldly, and it was a wonderful way to have friends and community where you had all sorts of different people and different, to me, it was a more worldly mindset and way that I saw things. But I feel like now there's a whitewashing, a very shadowy whitewashing happening. And with Trump trying to take things out of the Smithsonian that, are relics from slavery and from other horrible things that have happened in history. And again, this whitewashing of history. And there's that old saying about history repeats. And I keep saying it to you. It's 1939 right now, with ICE grabbing people and censorship and, bullying colleges to pay millions of dollars. And just even today, taking Kamala Harris's Secret Service protections away. I don't think that when Bush Sr. was leaving the White House and Clinton was coming in, that there was the kind of underhanded screwing around, kind of just that they would never do that. They would never strip the protections for someone's family.
It's just, anger is the easiest emotion, and when you start doing those things, I mean, he could do those things now because they have so many people angry, and they feel, whether it's merited or not, they really feel deeply that he is somehow an answer to the anger. But what I tell those people is the only answer he has for you is more anger.
Yeah.
And you used to be mad at Bud Light. Did that lower grocery prices? No. Then you were mad at Cracker Barrel. Did that fix things with Putin? No. Like, it's just the outrage. You need to maintain that level of outrage, so you focus on the wrong thing, and then you get screwed at the grocery store while Putin takes over Alaska.
Yeah, and we were talking about this earlier about him being a Russian operative, and just like some of these things where, like, 2 weeks ago, seeing a red carpet rolled out in Alaska for a war criminal. But yet, when the president from Ukraine came, there was nothing. There was no fanfare. There were no B-52s flying over. There were no red carpet.
I know, and I mean, and Trump lost everything there. There was no ceasefire, and then the next week he destroyed a U.S.-owned factory, and then just yesterday morning hit the EU consulate.
Yeah.
And killed 21 people. So, yeah, he we know he's a Russian asset. Like and I'm so sad. The mainstream media really needs to tell that story. It's very obvious. Even his own family has said for years.
Yeah.
Like, oh, the Russians were our source of money. Trump Tower read like a Russian hockey team as far as the roll call on who was, quote unquote, living there when it was just a place to launder money. And the thing that is the story that connects everything so well, Epstein and Russia, is the falling out they had over the real estate deal is that Epstein was going to buy that mansion for 40, and Trump came in with Russian money and bought it and then sold it again in 2 years, I think, for 90.
Yep.
And that's a perfect blend of all the terrible things that made this man and in one story.
And isn't that interesting that it was a bait and switch on a real estate deal that caused the fallout between those two, and not like one of their heinous crimes that they did on a underage young woman.
Yeah, but
right?
They don't have consciousness to that level. These were just poor girls that could be abused.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And in fact, it's funny to me, the more that people are asking for those Epstein files, and the more that the survivors are coming forward and testifying, and the louder that's getting, the more you're seeing Trump trying to, look over here, and trying to distract, and, and it's just like, to me, I feel like no matter what he tries to spin or tries to distract with, it's going to catch up to him, and the truth is going to eventually come out. It has to.
Well, I know a lot of those women are coming together, and I know they're going to have to step outside of their comfort zones to talk about what happened to them. And I just use that to remind people that, our stepping out of our comfort zone is pretty minor compared to what those Epstein victims are going to have to do to testify against Trump. And it's pretty minor compared to a lot of sacrifices that got us where we are. So,
and what I think is also interesting in all of the reading I've done and the research, there's a lot of major players around the world who have been in business with Trump, with Epstein, with Leslie Wexner, with other oligarchs from other countries, and this notion of sending women around to them, almost like you would collect baseball cards, and if that all comes out, that could take down so much that I think that's a lot of why there's this hesitancy to release what's in these documents.
Well, and they're just taking a long time scrubbing them, and that's the sad thing, was they do come up with something that's just going to be just dilapidated.
Exactly.
It's going to be like 3 words that aren't redacted.
Are you getting that radio feel you get around the 30-minute mark?
No, we're at the 30-minute mark, and I just love that you've been shooting over there. You've been shooting bars, and the cat's just going nuts at your feet this whole time.
I know.
You managed it.
If only like a human version of a man, like our friend Moose here could do that. But I do feel like I do need to say that the thoughts I've expressed and shared here today are not reflective of who I work for. And
neither me. So, and that's the thing too. Like, people see you, they're like, they'll go to your organization and be like, "Oh, he expressed this," and I'll be like, you know what? First Amendment. Yeah. When I'm at work, I'm a professional, and I'm taking care of all people of all different beliefs.
100%.
So,
my job is to protect the Constitution, and so I can have thoughts and feels about the things I see that I think are wrong.